Hello everybody, this is Sherry from djsundry.blogspot.com. I know it's been a while since I've done a video, and today I'm kind of doing an abbreviated tutorial, and what I mean by that is I'll be walking you through the steps, but you won't actually see me do them today. I actually have the project completely done, and so this shouldn't be too long of a video. So it's time for my card exchange club to meet. It met last night, but I had been sick for several days, so I wasn't able to get my cards done in time, and I didn't meet with them. But I'm feeling much better today. I got my cards finished up, and I'll take them to the person who will distribute them tomorrow. The theme for this month is wedding cards, and I've actually had planned what I wanted to do kind of in the back of my head for quite a while. Actually, since I made the anniversary card a few weeks ago. You might remember that using Valentine's paper. You can scroll back on the blog and find that. And I use the same cut. So to make this card, I use the Cricut Wild Card cartridge, and for this one, I use the hearts, and I don't know how well you can see it. This is page 67, and I use this one right down here. And I cut that out in white cardstock at 4.5 inches, and that was the base of my paper, and I'll talk more about that in just a few minutes. So like I said, just plain white cardstock. I just use Georgia-Pacific white cardstock for a lot of my things. I did place an order with Paper Tray Ink, and I didn't manage to get any white ordered, but I did order some other cardstock from them because I've heard really good things about their paper. So I am interested to see, for some of my projects I may be switching to that, but for paper piecing and for trial, you know, I've mentioned many times that I always try to do my original cuts in white, so that if I'm wasting that, I'm wasting my cheap Georgia-Pacific paper and not expensive colored paper. So, but this Georgia-Pacific paper worked really well for this project. I also used my Victoria Cuttlebug folder. It's kind of dark here tonight, so I don't know how well how many shadows are picking through here, but I used that, and I'll show you that in a minute. I also use my K. Andrew Design stamps. It's Valentine's, and the one that I use for that is Love is Patient, Love is Kind, and that's the only sentiment that I stamped on my card. I also had some purple cardstock from Coordinations, just that I had picked up at my Joann's sometime back, and I really like purple, and it was on sale. And I didn't have enough. I needed to make 8 of these cards. I didn't have enough of any one color to make all 8, so I just found the best colors that I had, so that I could coordinate it with the ribbon that I have done. Now when you cut out this card, it cuts out a hole, or it cuts out almost like, I call them stitch marks. And a separate piece that you can cut out is the layer for the card. And I played with it, and I did several different things, and I ended up not using the layer. I just liked the way it looked better without it. So this is my finished white card. Again, I cut it at 4.5 inches. If you open it up, this is how it would be. Now, I wanted to use my embossing folder here, and so I did. And the way I did that is I put the front of the card in the embossing folder, and I folded the back behind the embossing folder because I didn't want the back to be embossed at all. And so I ran it through the Victoria folder through my Cuttlebug, and this is what it came out. Then I took some plum colored organdy ribbon, and this is just some of that ribbon that I purchased a long time ago from Gifts International online, and I just sewed through it. Actually, we were watching a movie tonight. My daughter even helped me sew some of them, so we stitched all the way through it. But what happens when you do that then, of course, is you have the stitch marks on the inside of the card as well. Now the card does come with a liner. It also comes with an envelope, but I had some envelopes that will work, and I didn't really have the extra time or energy to put into it. So what I did is I cut the liner, but I wanted some of the white to show. I wanted to be able to cover the stitching and most of the embossing, but I wanted some of the white to show. So instead of cutting the liner, at the full 4.5 inches. I'm sorry, it was a 4 3/4 inch card. So what I did is I cut the liner at 4.5 inches. Now you have to be really careful when you do that. I don't know that I would do it this way again, just because it doesn't quite line up, and I knew it might give me some fits, and I did have to go back and trim off sometimes to make it even. But I still really like the way that the white edges. And then I use my black Excelsior ink pad to stamp right here, love is patient, love is kind. Now there's a few other things I want to talk to you about. Because this is so heavily embossed, the ATG just wasn't sticking enough. And so what I ended up doing is I used the ATG to attach the base of the card to the base of the heart, but for the top where it would be going over the embossing and then over the back side of the stitching, I use my glossy accents to really adhere it down. So some of them, they're probably not quite dry even yet. So that's the card. Actually, I spent more time sewing and taking apart designing the card than I really did making the card. It really didn't take that long. Now there's one more feature I want to talk about, and I waited till last on this because this also comes with a don't do what I did tip. So I decided that I wanted on the front, notice I don't know how well the camera picks it up on this one, maybe on this one it will just a little bit better. But if you notice, this isn't pure white. You can see it when you stand it up against the pure white of the back. It's not a pure white card. And the reason why is I really like the white on white look. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to use my Perfect Pearls spray mist to give it some sparkle and shine. Now, I don't know if you've seen the video, but a few months back I did a video where I made my own glimmer shimmer mists, and it worked great. I loved it, and I've just not done much with it for probably a month or longer. And this is where the tips come in. These are the glimmer mists that I made on my own, and I made it in several different colors. If you remember correctly, or if you didn't, I put, let me shake this and see, I put some BBs. I went to the sporting goods department at my local Walmart, purchased some BBs, and I put it in there so that when I went to mix it, like you hear, you can hear the BBs. When I went to mix it, the BBs would help mix the pearls back into the paint, because obviously when it sits, it is a little harder to get mixed up. Great idea. It worked really well. But now that my paints have been sitting for a month or two, not such a good idea, because guess what? The BBs rusted. I never would have dreamed that the BBs would have rusted, or I don't know if they rusted or if they peeled. And so when you look at this one, and I don't know how well the camera's picking it up, but this one that should be completely clear with just the shimmery on it, actually has a little bit of a yellow tint. Now it doesn't look horrible, but it's not something that I would have preferred to have happened. So if you're making your own glimmer mist, and I have a video, you can just look on the video page talking about how I made my own glimmer mist. I'm still going to do it, but now I'm going to have to go back, throw these out, and start all over again with new paint, which is the beauty of it, because I have plenty of paint because of the way I made them. But I'm sad that I'm losing the Perfect Pearls, and the paint's already mixed up. So sometime when I have some time, I'm going to have to just dump those out, get rid of the BBs, and start over again. So don't put BBs if you're making homemade. It mixes great, but it ends up being a mess in the long run. So that's my tip of the day. Now for those, once I realized that these were yellowing, I actually tried it on 2 different ones, and they both yellowed a little bit, and it looks okay. But again, that wasn't the look I was going for. I wanted just the shimmer, and so what I ended up using is I had purchased this. It's Shimmer Paint Shimmering, and it's called Heavy Metal. I'm not sure who makes it. Maybe the brand name is Shimmering Paints. I picked it up from scrapbookstills.com, and I was a little concerned about it because it looks kind of bronzy gold to me. But when I sprayed it, as long as I used a gentle touch, it actually just gives it shimmer with just a little bit of color. Now if I would have gone heavier, and anywhere where I did go heavier, it did show a little bit more of that goldish bronzy color, but it still looks okay, and it looks better than the yellowed. So again, if you're making your own, I think it's a fabulous idea. It worked really well for me, except for not with the BBs. So this is my wedding card. Get them all packaged up tomorrow with their envelopes. I had some envelopes that I found, and get them off to the coordinator of our club so that she can get them distributed. So thanks for watching, and I don't know if you've noticed or not, but this video marks my 100th YouTube video. Now, it's not my 100th craft related video, because one of the videos I did was just a fun thing, and actually it's not even accessible anymore. It's a private link. It was something fun for our family. But that means the next video I do is my 100th blog or craft related video. So here's the deal. With the next video, whenever I get to it, it's going to be a few days, but whenever I get to that next video, I'm going to be doing a giveaway to celebrate the 100th video. So keep watching and waiting for that next video to come out. It'll probably be several days, if not even a week. I have a really fun project planned. I don't know if I'll be able to get it done for my next video or not, but it is a project that I have planned sometime in the next couple weeks to try to finish up. I've got another project that I've started, so keep watching. There's more videos coming, and there'll be a giveaway associated with the very next one. So thanks for watching, and have a great day.